This is the homework helper for Chapter 9, Section 6 in the 7th grade workbook, Area of Irregular Figures. So in question 1 and 2, you're doing a lot like we did in question 1 today in the notes. You're finding the area by counting up the number of grid boxes shaped covers. So we're going to do some counting here to start, and I can see that we've got about 1, 2, 3 full grid boxes in the top row. These lose just a slight corner, but we'll call it a full. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... gets me up to the 8th grid box fully covered in the second row, and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 full grid boxes there in my when I count through totals in my bottom row there. So I see at least an area of 13, which means choices for A and B are out because my answer's got to be 13 or more. And I'm going to call these two grid boxes here half covered. Again, it's not quite exact, but it's probably a little more than a half with the curve in there, which will make up for the little gap we left there. So a half and a half makes a full. So I'm going to come up with an answer of 14 square feet. And you'll do the same thing in number 2. Count up your grid boxes, count up your holes, count up your halves, add them together. Bingo, bango. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next part here. In 3 through 8, you're finding the area of the composite figure. We'll do a couple different ones of these together. I'm going to start with number 4 because number 4 is one of the ones that involves a circle, and there's not many of those that do. So as you can see, basically what we've got kind of is the basketball court thing going on here. It's a little elongated, but it's definitely a basketball court. So on this end here, you've got a rectangular piece. The rectangular piece is 6 by 4. Or in other words, 24. So that's 24 square meters down there. And as we look to this side down here, this is half a circle. So I'm using pi r squared there. And then I'm going to take that and chop it in half because it's only half of a circle. Okay, no big deal there. So 3.14 times my radius squared. Now the whole line is 4, which means the radius is going to be equivalent to 2, because remember the radius is half, and I'm going to square that, and then I'm going to divide that by 2. So that's the same thing as 3.14 times 4. 2 squared is 4, which is 12.56, and then I'm going to chop that in half, and I'm going to get 6.28 for the half circle. So I'm going to add up 24 and 6.28, and that's going to give me the area of my composite figure. And when I do that, that's going to give me 30.28. That's going to give me meters squared. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at number 5. There's another good question there for us, because number 5's got a triangle, and you've got one right beneath it that's got triangles. As you can see, 3 and 6 is a bunch of rectangles or squares or boxes or whatever you want to say. You don't need me to help you find the area of a rectangle. You've been doing that for a long time. So let's look at 5 here. 5, you again have a big rectangle there. That rectangle is 9 by 18 on the bottom. So that's got an area of 162. And then I'm going to find the area of the triangle. Now that is a full triangle, so it's nothing like that. I need a base though. I do have the height, or what I would call the height. That's this line here. But remember, the base and the height have to meet at a right angle, which is why the right angle is marked as there. But they don't have any distance there, so we're going to have to go ahead and figure that out. So here's what I know. From here to here, it's 6. From here to here, it's 6. And the full line, as you can read down beneath, is 18. So if this is 6, this is 6, this is how much more to get me up to a full 18? Well, that's, of course, 6 as well. So the triangle here is going to be half of 4 times 6, or half of 24, which is 12. So the area there of that composite shape, 162 plus 12, that's 174. And that's going to be feet squared. All right, let's do one more together. Very similar to a question we just did above here in number 9. The figure shows the dimensions of a room, how much carpet is needed to cover the floor. So they're asking me to find the area of that composite figure, the half circle with a rectangle again. So let's take the easy part, the rectangle, 15 by 10. 15 times 10, that's going to change into 150. So that's 150 square feet. And then as far as the half circle, again, I'm going to use pi r squared, but then I'm going to chop it in half because it's only half a circle. Well, the line all the way across here is 10. So that means all the way across the circle is 10. The radius is then, of course, 5. So this is 3.14 times 5 squared, or 3.14 times 25. And when I do that, 3.14 times 25 changes into 78.5, which I'm then going to chop in half. When I do that, I get 39.25. So to find my area, I'm adding together 150 and 39.25. And when I do that, that's 189.25. And that's going to be feet squared. The carpet's going to take up almost 190 square feet.